All right, welcome to the Us Spoiler Movie Review. Now, you already know I've done the movie review for this film. So if you didn't see that, there is a movie review here. If you had not seen the film, definitely go check out that movie review and get out of this one, because this is the spoiler review, which means we spoil everything about the movie. And I've been listening to people make observations of what they think about the film. Now, I have seen the film 3 times. Now, in my third watch, more things were revealed to me, as I tend to not look at the same things I see the first time around. I'm looking for other things that I may have missed in the motion picture. And that's what Jordan Peele has done. He's created a film that's going to give you multiple different responses, multiple different outlooks. Now, getting back to Us, let's get into it, shall we? The movie starts off, they're talking about Hands Across America, right? The thing in 1986 about people joining hands and going across America. That was a big thing in 86, the Ronald Reagan era. So I was able to remember that. So when that happened and I saw it, I'm like, oh, I remember Hands Across America. But I also remember in 1986, when that went down, they were talking about how there were gaps in those Hands Across America that they chose to ignore and not focus on. There were so many gaps. They just didn't film that. They tried to make it like it reached all the way across America. But there were a lot of gaps. And that's what T.I. should reintroducing his album right now. It's about time I promote my album, Us Is. Can't see we're living in a war zone. He should be out there right now. Hey, Jordan Peele, you put my album out there to play my song on Us Is. It's gonna go perfect with your movie, Us. He probably still getting the voice message machine. This is the answer machine for Mr. Jordan Peele. Leave your message at the beep. Boop. Hey, it's Tip again. I don't know if you got my message, but Us Is. It's gonna be perfect for your movie, Us. You should tell people it's inspired by my album, and they should go buy it. I'll call you back. Now, anyway, back to the film. So what you were getting from the opening title is, you probably didn't know what the Hands Across America was about and all of these things. Let me explain it to you right off the bat. They're playing the American theme. They're letting you know this is America. This is about the United States. That's what the U.S. stands for. Where you say us, it has a double meaning. It's the United States. The us means U.S. I knew right off the bat before I even saw the movie. If you had not watched it yet, you should know it says spoiler review in the description. Get out. Just like his movie says, get out. That's what you should do. Get out. I done a movie review already. Go check that out. These are for the people that seen the movie. No, us has a double meaning. Us meaning people. The us, the two people. Us. And what it really meant was the United States. As you saw the social, the economic, and racial divide. That's what the double meaning was for. That's why you got the United States playing in the beginning, the Hands Across America. They're letting you know right now you're getting all of this forewarning coming right up. Then you saw 11/11. I mean, foreshadowing was very thick in this film. It was not very hard to figure out. When you saw the clock say 11/11, you saw the guy hold up Jeremiah 11:11. Lets you know God will ignore the cries of the wicked. They will cry to him and he will ignore them. When I watched the movie for the first time, the first thing I did during the film was text Sean, give me Jeremiah 11:11. As soon as I saw the sign. That movie was not confusing. Exactly. It wasn't a confusing movie for me, but it's confusing to some. Because a lot of people are young. If you're older than 30, this film really shouldn't be that confusing to you. But if you're in your 20s or younger, this movie might confuse you a little bit. Because believe it or not, most people don't remember the 80s. It's shocking. But yes, there's some people out here in the world that's moving around, they driving cars, and they don't remember nothing about the 80s. They barely remember anything about the 90s. You say you and your wife got this movie? Well, that's good. A lot of people didn't. Well, let's see how far you got. I'm going to really explain this movie to you. And hopefully everybody saw the same thing I saw. Now, as they go through the film, the movie's big reveal was very obvious from the very outset. From when the little girl goes into this haunted house and she runs into a girl that looks exactly like her, whistled back like her, grabbed her by the throat, or touched her on the chest. At this point, we didn't see her grab her by the throat. We saw her smile. The movie cuts. They get back, they go into the doctor, and she says, I just want my little girl back. She's not acting the same. Right then and there, you should have known that there was a switch. I knew right then, from the very first moment she was in there and they was talking to the shrink, that the little girl was switched. She wasn't the same. She wanted a little girl back. I knew that would be the big switcheroo. It was so clear as day that was what the switch was going to be. The big reveal. It was foreshadowed throughout the movie. Completely foreshadowed. Now, don't go to the movie theaters with scissors. Okay, brother? I understand y'all like the movie and everything. Just don't take scissors into the movie theater. This ain't the movies. They will light you up. Okay? We understand it. Keep the scissors at home. Well, if you didn't pick up on it, you probably was too young to understand it. I don't know why you couldn't, but I watch a lot of movies. So I've seen switches like this before. I've seen things done way better as far as switching and things like that. It wasn't foreshadowed as much as this. This one was foreshadowed and basically told the moment she said, I want my daughter back. And why she ain't talking. Now, as the movie goes on, you start to see other things develop. Lupita's character, the one that's married and with the family and everything, she tells the son, and this is what I didn't pick up on earlier, another foreshadowing, how they always focus, like, I knew it would be an event with that door, having a house where a door that locks and somebody got to let you out. Why would you even have that in your house? I'm like, I'd have had that fixed right away. The last thing you need is somebody getting locked in the closet and they can't get out. Unless somebody come open the door on the outside to let them out. Then they showed a little ambulance door that he would put in there to block the door so he don't get locked in. Right? She was offbeat when the song was on. A lot of times that's not going to be the case. I mean, I doubt that had anything to do with anything. You must have been watching some people's videos or something. Somebody must have said something as stupid as that. She was offbeat when they were doing the music. She was trying to keep the son on beat, but the music in the movie don't normally sync up with the music that they're listening to in the car. So that could be editing's fault. But that's not even close to a reason. I mean, it was a lot of foreshadowing. The ambulance that they were using he would use that little ambulance truck to block the door. At the end, they escaped in the only car that was working, which was an ambulance. So in the end, the ambulance was right there again. So they escaped in the ambulance that they used to block the door. Now, the reason why she was able to talk and the other ones wasn't because, again, she got switched. You find out later on that she was choked by the other one until she passed out. But what happened is, her being choked, it damaged her vocal cords. So when she speak, that's why she was, I was a little girl. Because her throat got crushed. The other girl crushed her throat when she choked her and switched places with her. Dude, switch the sons. How would she switch the sons? That's dumb. The other son is all burnt up for being down underground. No, she didn't switch the sons. Where are you getting this from? Are you been watching some crazy videos out here? People, this is what really happened. Are you watching people's theories and bringing them in here? Did you see the movie? He's like, I feel so dumb. The son burnt his face because, as we saw as the movie went on, they were mimicking what they were doing up top. The spirits and the souls are connected. But remember when she said that they were born without souls. The souls, they were making copies, but the souls were different. So why did you think they had so many rabbits running around? It's because they tried to clone with the rabbits, but they can't clone the souls. And this is an example of real life. What they were doing with the clones. When they were trying to clone people and all these other things, this goes to the testing, the things that we're doing here in the United States. And by them being the shadows, the tethers, and the people that were up top is like society. The people that were living on top, have you noticed all of the people that they shown were people of luxury? They were living a luxurious life. The family was rich and everybody else, and the people that look like them are the ones that killed them. Because they were the people who were socially outcast, put in the back, put in the down in the sewers, that no one knew anything about them. It was a microcosm, you know, of each other. So the yin and yang, and finally she led a revolt so that the people at the bottom could rise up and take over the people at the top. The boy was switched early in the film. How do you feel the boy was switched early in the film? The boy was not switched early in the film. Oh, at the beach? You feel that happened? That could have happened. That could have happened. But I seriously doubt it because of the way the movie played out. Because had he been switched on the beach, he wouldn't have been burnt as badly. Remember, they came that night. The burns that guy had on his face, the boy, those are burns that's been burned for a while. Remember, they came that night. So the kid whose face is burnt, those burns been there for a while. So no, I don't believe that. That was a good point, but I had to go back through my memory file and say no, that is not the case. Like when she says, we are Americans. When she's like, who are you? She's like, we are Americans. What she's referring to is the fact that, like I told you, this is all about America. Us stands for the United States. We're just saying the word us, but it means United States. And they're showing in the United States, this is what happened to Hands Across America. It was all about Americana back then. So they wanted to use that symbolism of Americana to do a Hands Across America for them to show that, hey, we are here now. We're not going to stay in the shadows anymore. We're going to get on top. You guys had everything, got all the luxury gifts. We got slums. We had to eat raw, rabbits. But someone had to build that facility. Someone had to put them, those rooms there and had the rabbits and all these experiments going on. Somebody had to do that, right? Well, a lot of people believe that there was a portal and they were connected, but once they did was they probably made the clones and got the DNA of these people when they were born over there by the town. And the people that's from all these towns, they got the DNA from when they were born and made clones of all of these people that were born. And they kept them underground and they were connected, but they didn't have the same soul. So they probably realized that this experiment is a failure because it's not working out. Now, you guys probably think like they kept cloning people. They didn't have to. The people that they have cloned, they continuously grew in population because they kept having sex. Remember, she said, I slept with this guy even though I didn't love him, but because you slept with that guy, she was forced to down there. Whatever the one did up top, the other one did below. They were connected. Everybody was connected. And you saw with the roller coaster when he was coming down. So she slept with the other guy, even though she didn't love him, but she had to because it was happening up top. She had kids that she didn't even want, but because you had fell in love up top with that guy and had kids, now she had to have kids. Then she had in her second child she had to have a C-section. Cesarean section. So hers, she had to cut the baby out herself with some scissors. Because that's all she had. So they all work together in combination. That's why she said this experiment didn't work. The souls weren't there. So you see the scientists abandoned the project and just left them to their own accord. Yes, it was an experiment. And what was happening was that they were having kids and babies and taking care of them because that's what was happening up there, up top. This is a psychological thriller. Not really horror. They got suspenseful moments. There's people tense in the movie. Especially when they was in the house. They didn't know what was going to happen. Now, the biggest question, how does this movie attach to Get Out? People's like, well, how does this movie attach to Get Out? Very simple. Well, I didn't get that far into it. The Native American sign into a magical sign. Now, this is how it attaches to Get Out. The experiment you saw them do in Get Out with those scientists, the doctors, those are the same guys that was running the tests, the same people that put on the lab, that was doing the tests and switching the brains. Those are the same guys that was doing the experiments for the tethers. They're the same doctors. But they've abandoned the project of what they were doing with the tethers. And now they realize they can put two souls in one body instead of using that project where there was no soul basically in the other body. They basically were sharing a soul in the tethers. So now they found a way that they can use the African American bodies and put white people's brain in there, and therefore they could share two souls in the same body. What was the purpose of the white family in those killings, though? It was showing you that it wasn't just directly, and that's what made the movie epic, Lamont. It wasn't dedicated just to that family. Okay, it wasn't a revenge flick like it's them and this black family. It was worldwide. Then you started, it looked like a zombie attack or, an invasion of the body snatchers almost. Because it was global. Everybody they were all killing their doppelgangers, in other words. Did you see that they were killed by the same people that looked just like them? It was an uprising. And she was leading them up there as they were living high life society, super rich. And it was just a symbolism of the United States. Us means United States. It don't mean just us. It was a double meaning. Just like it's two people, double meaning. Us, United States. That's what the Hands Across America was all about, the whole theme. It's about America, Americana, society, socialism, entitlement, the lower class. These were the lower class people, the tethers. They were the ones that they had to suffer the burdens of everything that was happening on top, where everybody else had the luxuries, the joys, and all the rewards, the big boats. And that's why they made the people that was on top on the beach houses, and this is like their toy house. They come out here just for fun. They were super loaded, successful, while they was down there eating nothing. I'm a 90s baby. Well, Hands Across America was in 1986 during Ronald Reagan's term. And what they were doing was some We Are the World type thing where everybody was holding hands to raise money. It was going from one coast all the way to the other coast. Hands Across America. From California through DC, through all the way. And there were gaps in there. Just like there are gaps all through this thing here. That's why she put it out that we are Americans. Because it was spiritual. No direct contact. That's what they say. They spiritually were connected. You see, you don't get it. You guys think that they just make another clone as soon as somebody is born. No. What they would do is they would have the clones already there because they're being born. They're actually sleeping with the people down there and having sex and having birth, being delivered. They're doing the same things that's being done up top is being done below. So they're growing. So they don't need a doctor to keep cloning everybody. Oh, that's the catacombs. I mean, the cat. Yeah, I've never been there in the UK. The catacombs, the caves, all them skeletons and bones in there from war. Nah, won't get me. They're connected, just like they say twins are connected. Twins have a connection between them that just them and the other twin knows about. They can feel when something's happening to the other twin. They're connected. They share a soul. Because the Lapita character, the one that was down there who slept with the other guy that looked like her husband, they had the daughter come out and she was the same as her daughter. She had the son that was the same as her son. Because when she slept with him, so was she doing it down there. They were connected. When she did the ballet, she did ballet. Was it better than Get Out? I say it's up to it's they both up to par. I mean, I liked Get Out a little more because it was more centered in something I understood a lot more than was relative to. This was more just like wow. The direction was great. The foreshadowing was, I picked up on it. It was like really thick, but it's so much going on that the rewatching value is going to be great. Get Out, you really didn't see that coming. Like you didn't see what we knew the family was crazy. We didn't know how crazy. We didn't know taking black people's brains out and replacing them. It was black people running out of the movie theaters. And they were leaving their date. They were bringing white girls to the movies. Next thing you know, they were leaving their white girl in there. I'm getting out. That was a thing. Anybody saw interracial couple, they were yelling at the brother, get out. Get out, brother. Like, oh man, they already got him. Yep, they already got him. See, that made sense to brothers. That movie made sense to a lot of people. Plus, white folks, they loved it. White folks says, that's right. Tell the Negroes to leave our women alone. Get out. I like this Jordan Peele. He's good. He's a good, clean, wholesome guy. He's telling the brothers, get out. Just go out. Go get your sister, bro. If they were with the sisters, this would not be happening to the brothers. And that's what this movie is all about. And that's what the movie was about. If you was with a sister, you wouldn't have this problem. Exactly. He didn't get out. I think I tweeted that to Jordan Peele. I'm like, you didn't get out. But that's how it connects with Get Out. The scientists that are there, those scientists that are there, that's operating on them, they're trying to perfect it by putting the two souls in one body. What if the experiment was failed with the tethers? They perfected it now. And this is the new direction. where the tethered experiment wasn't working because they discovered that the souls were different. Remember, they had a whole organization, the family did, as this is what they did. You got to go back to Get Out. So in the 80s, around that time, they had already running this thing. So they've been running it for a long time. This program's been going on for a very long time. And they had to shut it down. And they just left the tethers there. And the tethers just kept moving on and doing it. They're moving on their own because they're functioning like life functions up here. So there's a Carcino right now in the sewers. He's getting up, walking around, sitting down, holding up a piece of glass, thinking it's a phone, going. Yeah, so here's what I didn't like about the film. Too much information. Had they left a mystery of what was going on down there and left more questions, it didn't need to be explained. Let the public see that this is a big world. When they turned on the television, they saw it was global, and it wasn't just something located to the park. It was all over the world. Now it became something else. Something else entirely. And it didn't need to be explained. When you explain too much, sometimes you lose some of the quality of the film. And I think them trying to explain and show the tethers down there and trying to explain with the scientists, and it's like it kind of took away from what people's imagination of what was going on down there. People thought like maybe it's a time portal and these guys are coming in from a portal. You go in and there's Earth 2 and all this. It takes away from the mystery of what was going on. Sometimes the mystery is good. All right, some things don't need to be explained. Like we never got to see Jason's father, Jason Voorhees. Now, Jason's father was written in a script before. He even had a name. His name was Arlises or something like that. Arlises Voorhees. And he was still alive. He wasn't dead. Matter of fact, he was the one paying for Jason's grave site. And he was supposed to be in Jason Part 6. As he was the one that was going to come out and stop Jason. He said, time out. The mom of Jason. The mom of Jason's been dead since the very first one. When her head got chopped off, she was final. She wasn't coming back. And Jason wasn't going to give her a chance to come back because he just kept toting her head around everywhere he went. Keep mom's head with me. I'm rolling with you, Mom. Now, Jason's father knew that Jason was not dead, but he kept paying for Jason's gravesite to stay there, even though he knows Jason's not in it. Yeah, so definitely go watch Us again and see if you notice anything that I didn't tell you about the film. But I guarantee you, Jordan Peele's gonna say, man, that guy there, Carcino, you really watched my movie, didn't you? I'm gonna be like, you doggone right. I put it all together. I connected it to Get Out. How you had them scientists in there that was doing them experiments, doing the same ones that was doing the tether experiment. And now they've upgraded their experiments to putting two souls in one body because the tethers, they didn't have souls. They were sharing a soul with the host that was upstairs. Oh, I figured that out. Oh, did I figure that out? Yeah, I watch a lot of movies, bro. Now, here you are talking about you ain't seen the movie, but yet you still in the spoiler review. You just don't care if the movie gets spoiled. Me, I'd have checked out immediately. It'd be like, spoiler review, I'm out. I'm gone. Woo! Nobody spoiled it for me. Oh, yeah, I didn't see Goonies. I did see Chud. And I think the other one was that The Greatest Little Whorehouse in Texas? That was right next to Chud. I couldn't make that out. But yeah, I was noticing them. And I'm like, Chud! I'm glad you paid attention to that, Junior. I did see the Chud. It was a lot of stuff I noticed in there. Yeah, when I was watching the movie, I was pointing it out. Chud! That is a very good question. Why did they choose the song I Got Five on it? Maybe because everybody must have been high that was watching that movie. I got five on it. I gave it 3.5. I really liked the movie. That is probably the only question about the movie I cannot answer. But that's why I say a lot of people have done videos and they shown all these highlights and they got all the editing equipment and they come up with all these theories in their mind. And that's how I know they probably, a lot of you guys probably have seen those videos and they all coming in here with them questions from some of their stuff. Because this has happened before. That's how I'm like, yep, here it comes. They'd be like, what if it was a mouse, a radioactive mouse that came in there and bit him? And I'm like, where did you get all this from? This was not like in the movie. What did I think of the ending? I think it could have been better. I think it could have been a better ending. Because it was, to me, it was too predictable. Because nothing really is ended. They're still like holding hands. I guess they finna get the bomb dropped on them by the government. Because that's going to be their last stand, I guess, is just to hold hands and do their hands across America thing, and then that's it. And they up out of there. I just think he didn't know how to really land the plane on the ending. I think the ending just, the big reveal wasn't a big reveal. It was obvious. And then at the end, the son figures it out that his mom was really the one that was supposed to be down there, and she switched places with the girl. Then we find out that she handcuffed the girl to the bed. My only question is, how did she ever get unhandcuffed from the bed? Lamont, I knew the mom was switched in the very first 10 minutes of the movie. When she first was sitting in that office saying, I want my daughter back, and was in there, and why she ain't talking, I knew right away this was the clone. Dude, you had to have seen this done in movies before. This has been done in movies countless times. That I've seen it done better. We just saw this. You just saw this in the switch happened in the last Aliens movie. Alien Covenant. You saw the switch there. I knew the switch was made there too. The switcheroo game has been done plenty of times. Oh yeah, I didn't do the Avengers 2 yet. I'll tell you the original Avengers 2 script, because that's mixed with the first script of Avengers. The whole thing with Hulk and him fighting Hulkbuster, that was going to be in the original one. They saved that for the second one. The same thing that they end up making Hulkbuster, the whole thing for part 2. They saved it. But the second one was always going to be Ultron. But Ultron's personality and character was supposed to come from the Mind Stone. But they altered it. Instead of writing the character who really created Ultron, they tried to introduce the Mind Stone by having Ultron be a part of the Mind Stone. And the pieces that was missed, that was reprogrammed, was the program that they put in him, the protocol, and part of Jarvis's protocol. But yeah, we'll do the Avengers 2. I'll break that down to you and tell you how the script was originally supposed to go. Because a lot of changes was made at the last minute by, I think, the Russos or Peter Feige canceled out a lot of things that they were going to do in the script. They were going to introduce a character that didn't get introduced into the film. And everybody was like, the hell happened here? I thought this person was going to be in the movie, but they weren't. And it just didn't work out that way. We almost got him, but we didn't. So. Probably would have made for a better movie. But I'll tell you about it a little later. It's been real. You could have hit up the super chat. But if y'all want to donate, hit up the Cash App. It's your boy Carcino.